I'm excited about this part, but then I am a bit apprehensive because of how far it is. The river's gonna change. I'm on a journey to follow the Charles River from its source to the sea more than 60 miles away near Boston Harbor. After spending much of the first day on foot, I'm finally facing a full day in the kayak, but miles of continuous paddling will bring challenges of their own. Join me for day 2 as I attempt to navigate the full Charles River from source to sea. All right, it is July 14th, 2026. It's 7:37 in the morning. I'm here at Brenahans Landing. I'm trying to finish at Bridge Street in Dover, and we'll see how the day takes me. Today, I expect it to be a more calmer day. We're actually in navigable water. There's no portages needed. There's no weeds to get through. There are no, hopefully, beaver dams in the way. So 2 things I'm carrying along with me from yesterday. Physically, I got a nice big slash on my arm yesterday from having to hop that fence. It's all bandaged and cleaned up. Worry of having to portage unexpectedly, because that was a pain yesterday when I hit that train trestle. Then I had to do an extra portage. There's 1 or 2 train trestles, I think, today, and hopefully there's no beaver dams in the way of those ones. So I'm carrying those mentalities that I'm worried about that stuff. So today there's a couple of sections where it's like 3.5 miles of the river between road crossings. So what I expect to be difficult about those is there may be down trees because they're just big sections. So obviously if there's something I get stuck on, there's no road to walk to. I'm just gonna have to figure out how to get around it. I had to do a bunch of that yesterday. So I think I have a good handle on how to do it. Other than that, I expect it to be peaceful. Just hoping for not a large series of obstacles and down trees. I'm hoping there's not a lot of that. I'm feeling confident. It's a beautiful day. It's gonna be hot today. That's another thing. I have to make sure I drink plenty of water today. All right, let's get going to the river. Ooh, the water's cold today. So, what I said about no obstructions, immediately false. I just got stuck. It's because the water level's so low. So, we're gonna have to start by getting out. I really didn't think I was gonna have to get out so quickly. Literally, I just went around the corner. All these fallen trees. I wonder if I could try to sneak through. I don't know. But I got these logs in front of me, so I guess I am starting by getting out of the water, into the water. I thought I wasn't going to get the kayak full of water today. So I capsized coming over that big tree that's behind me. I'm trying to get back in the kayak, and the last 15 minutes I've been Diligent out the water. Halfway there. I gotta get all the water out, and then I can make it over to the bank, and then I'll try to get back in the kayak. This is, whew. Oh, I made it to the shore, emptied out the kayak full of water. Yeah, hopefully I don't have to do that again today. Now we're back to it. See, this is the part I'm excited about for today. This sort of part of the river. This is nice and calm. Easy to navigate. The water level is deep enough that I'm not touching the bottom. It's beautiful. Yeah, this is the part of Charles I like. That's why today and tomorrow, I think, will be my favorite parts. Tomorrow, definitely. Ooh, here we go. Look at this. Wide open. You know, this makes me confident that the water I don't know what I prefer more. The branches I know I have to go over, or those ones that are surprised. But, so what I was saying, yeah, here we go. Look at this. Nice big lake, pond, that feeds the Charles. And I think I'm going down that way. This fills me with confidence that there's gonna be more water, less challenges. See, now because of that pond, the river is just wide opened up. So it may be a little shallow, but it's just wide open. So even if there are a bunch of down trees, there's plenty of space to go around them, which is so welcomed. I just want to do some more rapids. The annoying thing is the water is so low, but the rapids are just like scraping over rocks. And if it was a little higher, it'd be no problem. It would just cruise right over them. But it's just low enough where the bottom of the kayak is just like cruising on it. Probably got some gouges in it. I hope it doesn't have a hole. I'm not taking on any water, so that's good. Not bad though. I mean, if I need to get out there, it's no problem because it's all rocky. And I prefer that over silts. It's just, they're under the water enough where you can't see them, and so I end up hitting them, and I'm trying to avoid them. So I've reached Dean Street. After this point, the next section is 3.7 miles before the next road crossing. I imagine that's going to take me at least 2 hours to do, and over that time the river is going to change. You know, there's going to be obstacles, so I'm taking a chance now to. There's some bandages I need to reapply. I'm going to reapply my sunscreen and my bug spray, refill my water, take a snack, and then we'll head off. So I'm on my way for the 3.7 miles of nature. As I said before, I'm excited about this part. It's going to be more natural, but then I am a bit apprehensive because of how far it is. The river's going to change, and I could find some of those rapids that are just rocks, down trees. I hope not down trees. That's my worst fear, is that in the middle of it, there's going to be a down tree that I can't get around, and I have to try to navigate around it because it's a pain to do. And for this part, I'm turning on some music because that will keep me from just worrying about what's going to happen or what's coming around the next bend. So it'll help keep the vibes up. And I'm just going to enjoy it. I have 5 hours and I'm only halfway, but I did the halfway point in 3 hours. So as long as I don't hit, and that included, those 3 hours included having to, accidentally capsized the kayak and having to bilge it. So if I don't hit any major obstacles, I should be good to make it where I need to go. But we'll see. So I'm just gonna enjoy this next part. So one thing I knew would be in nature is going to be more bugs, and there are these flies that will not leave me alone. I'm covered in DEET, but they would not like it, but they just keep flying around my face. It's super annoying. Nice catch. Enjoy it. It took me an hour, or a little over an hour, maybe an hour and 10 minutes to do almost 4 miles. That's the kind of pace I've been hoping for. I mean, the difference of having navigable waters, there weren't any obstructions. I mean, there are some trees to go around, but nothing that covered the water all the way. Whew. I don't have that many miles left to go today, and if it stays like this, I can easily make it. So I'm so happy. Like, I was nervous going to that section just because I thought in the middle there was going to be obstructions and I wouldn't, you know, I would have to deal with things, but I didn't. Now there's still obstructions up ahead. I think this next section is pretty clear, but after the next road crossing where there is a kayak launch, there's a train track going by, and when we've driven by it, because the water is low, it looks like it's blocked by, you know, debris. So fingers crossed on that, but we'll see that. I'll see that when I get there. And look at that absolutely massive beaver dam. It is humongous. All right, I did that 1.1 miles in very quickly. 20 minutes maybe? Now here's the thing. I have 2.8 miles to get to my first stopping point of the day. Am I sure? We'll see. No, I'm doing the whole Charles. Today's been so much better than yesterday. Yesterday was, because it was non-navigable, so it was a lot of hurdles, but it's been good today. Good luck fishing. All right, so the challenge is there's a train trestle here, and I don't know if it's navigable. I hope it is, because if it's not, I'm in trouble. Oh yeah, so we can get through here. Which one to pick? I'm gonna go with this one. Oh, this is a relief. This was the thing I was worried about too. I thought this was gonna be completely blocked, because from the road driving by, you can't tell. Okay. I just talked to the fisherman, and I don't know, he said, "Are you sure?" But we keep going, so I don't know if that bode wells or not, but let's stay optimistic. The water's been great. Let's keep it this way. All right, a little bit of good news, bad news, good news. Good news, I've reached the next road crossing. That's 2.8 miles from the last one, and it took me an hour. A little less than an hour, but let's call it an hour. Bad news, I was incorrect. This is not the spot for my first end goal of the day. I misread the map. So the other part of the bad news is I have another 2.5 miles to go to get there. Good news though is I still have about 2.5 hours. Yeah, that's the good news, bad news, good news, good news, bad news, good news. So we're gonna keep going on. All right, so it's 3:30. I made it to the Bridge Street Landing in Dover. Today was much better than yesterday, that's for sure. So different from day one, I think it's mainly my arms are tired because it was all paddling today. Yesterday, the first day was a mixture of walking, portaging, paddling. It was such a gauntlet yesterday. Mentally, it was so much better. Today was a much more calmer. Sorry, I had to move. There's people loading their boats. That's one of the things in the next part of the river. There's going to definitely be more people. Something I underestimated today was only at the beginning was the fact that there might be down trees and getting over them, because I went over a bunch on day one, and the ones I had to go to, there was only 2 I had to do. I flipped over, filled the kayak with water, I had to pump it, I had to bring it to shore, I had to drain it. That was very problematic. It's just a time sink. Nothing dangerous, but just a time sink. So I didn't estimate that to happen. For tomorrow, there's 3 main decisions that are gonna have to be made to determine how far I get tomorrow. From this point on, the water is mainly gonna be like this. The lack of uncertainty of the river tomorrow makes me excited. So day 2, I wanna say it's a success. I did a total of 16 miles. Tomorrow, I'm gonna have at least 20 miles to do, but I have 11 hours to do it. Because of yesterday's snafu on day 1 of, cutting my arm on a rusty fence and then being in the water, I get the reward today of going to get a tetanus shot after this. Till tomorrow.